A Bond of Ember and Tide, Part 1, Kindred Souls. The salt spray stung Elara's face as she clung to the railing of the sea serpent, her gaze fixed on the horizon. The vast expanse of the Azurian sea always filled her with a sense of restless longing, a yearning for something beyond the familiar shores of Ember. Beside her, Liam's familiar presence was a comforting weight, a grounding force in her often turbulent world. They had been inseparable since childhood, growing up in the twin coastal cities of Ember and Tide, cities forged from the very elements they embodied. Elara, with her fiery spirit and hair the colour of a wildfire at sunset, was a child of Ember. From her earliest years, she had been drawn to the city's heart, the great forge where flames danced and roared, shaping metal and dreams. She'd learned to coax the flames, to feel their heat not as a threat, but as an extension of her own being. Her magic was raw, untamed, like the volcanic heart of her city. Liam, quieter and more attuned to the ocean's rhythms, was Tide's son. His connection to the sea was profound. He could read the tides, predict the weather by the subtle shifts in the currents, and feel the pulse of the ocean as if it were his own heartbeat. His magic was fluid and deep, like the hidden trenches of the Azurian. He'd spent countless hours exploring the hidden coves and underwater grottos that lined Tide's shores, finding solace and strength in the embrace of the sea. Their bond was the stuff of legends in their cities, the Ember-Tide bond. It was whispered in hushed tones around crackling fires in Ember and in the salty air of Tide's docks that when a child of Ember and a child of Tide found true love, they would unlock a magic unlike any other, a power that could shape the very world. Elara always scoffed at the legends, attributing their connection to shared adventures and childhood camaraderie. They had explored hidden caves, climbed the jagged cliffs that separated their cities, and even faced down a wild storm together, their combined courage a force to be reckoned with. But lately she couldn't deny the way her heart quickened when Liam's sea-green eyes met hers, or the warmth that spread through her when their hands brushed. It was a subtle shift, a quiet awakening, like the first stirrings of a volcano or the slow pull of the tide. "Another uneventful voyage," Liam said, his voice a low rumble that resonated through her, a vibration that seemed to settle deep within her bones. He'd grown into a man of quiet strength, his sun-kissed skin and windswept dark hair a constant reminder of his life at sea. The years had sculpted his features, honing them to a rugged handsomeness that made the maidens of both Ember and Tide sigh. But his gaze always lingered on Elara, a silent testament to the depth of his feelings. Elara sighed, pulling her thick braided hair over her shoulder. The fiery strands cascaded down her back, a stark contrast to the deep blue of her tunic. "Uneventful is good, isn't it? Especially after the storm." The storm. It had been unlike anything they'd ever seen. A tempest of fire and water mirroring their own elements had ravaged the coast, threatening to tear their cities apart. The sky had been a swirling vortex of ash and spray, the sea a churning cauldron of whitecaps and shadows. It was during that storm, battling the raging elements side by side, that everything had shifted. Fear, adrenaline, and a desperate need to protect each other had forged a new intensity in their relationship, stripping away the last vestiges of childhood innocence and revealing the raw, undeniable attraction that had been simmering beneath the surface for years. Liam turned, his gaze searching hers, his expression a complex mix of tenderness and a deep, unyielding longing. "Elara," about the storm. Before he could continue, a cry came from the crow's nest. "Land ho!" The tension of their unspoken feelings was momentarily forgotten as they focused on the approaching island. It was uncharted, a verdant jewel rising from the turquoise sea, its peaks shrouded in mist and mystery. Captain Anya, a grizzled woman with a weathered face and a spirit as untamed as the sea itself, decided to explore. She was a legend in her own right, a woman who had sailed to the edge of the world and back, and even she seemed intrigued by the island's sudden appearance.